This is genuinely really strange. I am actually, really nervous for today's episode. I've made you wait all weekend for it. It's episode 90. I hope you had a chance to get caught up over the weekend. Yeah, cup final. Last game of the league season. All the marbles to play for. Let's run the intro and get right into things. Yes, folks, how is it going? Welcome back to Park to Prem. It's episode 90. It is Monday. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Let's start the week with a bang, shall we? We have two games coming your way today. The first, the Europa League final against Freiburg. Well, we will be playing at the Boris Arena. The Boris Arena in Georgia. I don't even know if Georgia has Street View. We'll find out together shortly. And of course, it's not just that one game we've got today. We then have something even bigger. The last game of the Premier League season. We will be taking on West Brom. Liverpool will be taking on Leeds United. And Arsenal play Wolves. Just as a little reminder, there's 3 teams tied on 75 points. Right now, we are ahead of Liverpool purely on goals scored. There is a chance that this title turns into a final day where we're just looking at Liverpool's score, trying to score one more than them. I feel like when it comes to the Europa League this year, we should be winning it. I feel like we've been a deserved champion based on how we've navigated the competition so far. As for the Premier League, it's a very different proposition. Of course, aim for this year from our staff and the board was to get a mid-table finish. And I suppose it's worth pointing out at this point, the winner of the league this year is going to finish on 78 points. The previous 2 years, 78 points would not have got you Champions League football. It has been one of the weird years where we could overachieve massively, but combined with us overachieving, everyone else has played crap. All the big dogs have been slipping up against one another. And, well, we need to just try and seize this opportunity if we can. Now, last episode we took on Stoke. There is almost a temptation to rotate the team for the Europa League final, but I think we just go full strength into both and hope we don't have any injuries. There is no players missing for this cup final, which feels great. And on top of that, I've just realised we probably should add some players to the bench, shouldn't we? Okay, you know what? While I do this, I'm going to throw to the away day. We are heading to Georgia ahead of the Freiburg game. Yeah, I have no idea what to expect. I don't think I've ever looked at Georgia on a map. So for today's away day, we are heading to Georgia. Of course, we're taking on Freiburg. We could just meet somewhere convenient in the middle, couldn't we, like Brussels? But we're not doing that. We are heading to Georgia, which I've just remembered, borders Azerbaijan. I'm getting Baku flashbacks. We're not heading to Baku today. Instead, we're heading to Tbilisi. Definitely not saying that correctly. And I believe, not because I've already searched it, definitely because I just know this, here is the Boris Paicadze Dynamo Arena. This is where the cup final is going to be played. It has a running track. I'm already angry. Now, to be fair to them, they've got parking here. Here is Dynamo Arena parking 2. There are crop circles in the car park. We won't question that. Where is parking 1? If that's parking 2, is parking 1 bigger? Parking 1? This is parking 1. I'll tell you what, it is kind of League 1 level car parking, isn't it, here? I actually have no idea if Georgia's on Google Maps, so I guess we're going to click the little yellow man of destiny and find out together. Okay, there's no official street view, but the people of Georgia have done laps around the stadium for us. Here is the exterior of the stadium. It's good old-fashioned football stadiumage, isn't it, here? It borders right onto a main road on all sides. Can we peek through at the grass? We can't, but look at that mosaic of seat colours. I think I'm going to love the seats once we get inside. It's like the people of Georgia knew I was going to be coming. Look at this. They've taken us photosphere just in the car park. Here is the stadium next to it. I quite like the way it's wrapped around by trees. It's quite integrated in, isn't it? Well, I'll be honest, it's not the most modern, is it, of facilities? And it almost looks like the seats shouldn't be held up the way they're being held up. But, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I assume this is like the national stadium of Georgia. I don't actually know if any teams play here. I'm sure there'll be one Georgian viewer in the comment who can shed some light on this. I mean, it looks unique if nothing else. I don't think there's a ceiling. Right, let's go in the ground. There's a dot on the centre circle. That feels like the place we should go. And here we are in the stadium for, well, I assume a football match of some description. This looks pretty sick. I mean, it's a coliseum of a football stadium, isn't it? The running track does make me a little bit angry, but I kind of like it. It appears like they also do like festivals or maybe music performances here as well. We can just admire the seat art, by the way. You know, they've not written out names or anything on the seats. They've just gone for a mosaic appeal. It's pretty bloody big, isn't it, this stadium? If I am going to be critical of this stadium, which I think I have to be a little bit, it is a little bit dated. Also, they have got some seat art here. I think that is a football club badge. I think a Georgian team does play here. You know, when you see something like, that looks familiar, that looks familiar. I mean, on the one hand, it has a running track that annoys me, but I do kind of like the fact it's got kind of this gladiatorial feel. Also, I said I couldn't see a roof from the outside. There is actually a roof as well. I feel like in terms of away days, it lacks in some critical areas, but the seats alone, the jazzy seats are just making me want to give it a good score. And in fact, I've just realised here in Football Manager, you can actually see teams that use the ground. Dynamo Tbilisi use the ground. I mean, it just looks nice in the picture. It looked nice on Google Street View. The exterior wasn't the prettiest, but I feel like I enjoyed it in a weird way. It did a lot of things that I shouldn't enjoy, and maybe I'm getting caught up in the occasion. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Just ahead of the final, here's a little reminder of our route to get here. We, of course, joined at a slightly later stage, finishing in the top 8 of the group stage, as did Freiburg. They have knocked out Fiorentina, Villarreal, Wolfsburg, and as for ourselves, well, we've been just demolishing teams, haven't we? We've scored 20 goals in the last 3 stages of the competition. I'd like to think we can score a few more here. That said, Freiburg do have some pretty blooming good players. Their key man is Xi Jinping. This guy is absolutely amazing. 53 caps for China. He looks incredible. I kind of want to buy him and train him to play defensive midfielder. Maybe I'm just a messed up person. In terms of more attacking players to fear, Jefferson Angel is their most talented forward. Very, very quick player, great determination. But I think when you compare him against our players, and you look at Freiburg and the fact they're 6th in the Bundesliga, we have to go into this game as favourites. So in terms of the lineup for today's game, it is full strength. In an ideal world, this team plays both this game and the one following it. In goal, Haddad. This guy's been really, really good, especially lately. He's definitely stepped up his performances towards the end of the season. He's got 13 clean sheets in the Premier League, 4 in the Europa League as well. He has been playing well in this competition. Let's hope he can end things on a high. Also, he loves important matches. I don't know how important that really is in the grand scheme of things in Football Manager, but this feels like quite an important match. Over on the left-hand side of our defence, we are going with Lee Min, yet to score a goal this year. He's also unhappy because he wants a new contract. I want to give him a new contract, to be clear, but he also wants to be matching the highest earner. I can't promise him that. As good as this guy is, that's just a bit too much. This guy also loves important matches, and another man who loves important matches is actually the right-back in Bolton. I feel like we have a team built for cup finals. Yeah, Michael Bolton, probably my player of the season, alongside Sam Fay. He has been so, so good. Of course, in the Europa League, we've rotated our team a lot, so many of these players haven't actually featured in the Europa League quite as much as you might expect. Another example of that is Sneddon. Again, loves important matches, has 5 goals in the Premier League, 1 in the Europa League. He is our little kind of set-piece ace up our sleeve alongside Rodriguez, who again, he loves important matches. This isn't even something I've made as a conscious decision. I'm only really realising now, all my players love big games. In a defensive mid, of course, we are going to be going with Thorns. He is going to be playing that kind of ball-winning role for us. Defensive midfielder on defend. Riviere, on the other hand, the man pulling the strings from deep. The 25-year-old joined us in the championship, just as a little reminder. Alongside the likes of Lee Min and Bolton, who joined us in the championship, they've climbed with us, grown with us, and now they get to play one of the biggest stages in world football. Ahead of them, it is going to be a big moment for 2 youngsters. Misiak has really stepped up his performances in the second half of the season. He's been playing really, really well. Hopefully that will continue here. Pelagata, on the other hand, I feel like lives in the shadow of Misiak. I think it's because his attributes aren't quite as impressive, but in terms of performances, he's been amazing. 7.71 rating in our Europa League game so far. And of course, he stepped up and became a regular starter, with Ospina leaving and Sanfe just becoming a striker. He has been sensational this year so far. Only 5 goals in the Europa League, but of course, as we've already mentioned, a lot of these players haven't played that much in the Europa League. In the Premier League, he's been a goal-scoring machine. We will hope that transitions into this competition, and alongside him, Roger Rojas. I love this man. I don't know why I'm rolling the R's. I'm just very excited. This is the team we're going with. I feel prepared for this one. I mean, ordinarily, this is the game that would be the big game of the episode. And don't get me wrong, it is a big game. Winning this guarantees us a Champions League spot, although we have already kind of done that. But yeah, I mean, I'm still thinking ahead to the league game. All I'm really admitting here is that if we're winning this game by a few goals with, I don't know, half an hour left, I might sub off the big guns and save their legs. That might be a little bit of a gamble to make in a cup final, but we want to be competitive on as many fronts as possible. Here is the team that they're going with. It is a very, very strong Freiburg team, but we definitely have an edge here. Does anyone else love these cutscenes? I feel like they're a bit slow at times, but it does really add to the occasion, doesn't it? It feels like a big deal that we're here in a Europa League final all of a sudden. And I can't help but love that. We have this year scored plenty of early goals. An early goal would settle my nerves, but only if it comes in our favour. We need to be wary of that. Leave a mental note, everyone, in the back of your head. They've got a bloke who has very long throws there. Her dad, though, claimed it confidently. He's now going to launch it forward. Sanfei, Misiak, Rojas in behind, chests it down. Oh my word. That's his 30th of the year. What a finish that was. I mean, can we discuss this a little bit? Can we chat about this? I mean, the header down is nice. Misiak's ball over the top is great, but Rojas on the chest, on the run, on his weaker foot as well, just slots into the bottom corner. Talk about composure in a massive game. I mentioned it when going through the defenders and the likes of Riviere, but we have Riviere, Bolton, Lee Min, Rojas and Fay, all players who played for us in the Championship starting this Europa League final. That makes this all the more sweeter. I feel like often to have European success, a major success in the Premier League versus the Championship, you have to cast aside a lot of players. A lot of these players have just grown with the club. They are thriving now, and Rojas is trying to get in behind again. For a second, I thought he was going to grab a second. We do still have the ball, to be fair. We could still make something happen. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like an occasion like this feels more special when it's players that have grown with the club playing, especially Sam Fay, who, of course, generated with us in League One. Oh, my word. Okay, you know what? Let's stop talking about the romanticising of this game. Let's talk about the fact it's 1-1. By the way, the man who scored, Malik Tillman, I had last year in one of my saves in Germany. Yeah, he's popped up here. Haddad actually made an incredible initial save, but you can't really expect him to get to the rebound. He'd already committed from the previous one, and Tillman had half the goal to aim for. Bolton at right back, throwing it short to Riviere. Snedden now. We're knocking the ball around the back. You know, we've got a bit of confidence around us. Misiak, Fay, Rojas. That is lovely. Is he onside? The linesman's raised his flag. That looked very, very close. It would be his 31st goal of the year if it counted. Was he off here? He might maybe off. I feel like the line wasn't drawn where the Freiburg defender was, but I'm not going to argue with the game. You know what? We've shown an ability, haven't we, today, to put the biscuit in the barrel. We need to put the biscuit in the barrel. That has been the trend of this season. Sam Fay, can you put the biscuit where it needs to go? He can't. The keeper saved it. Imagine coming back for this episode and hearing me talking about biscuits and having not watched the rest of the season just being confused. There's definitely someone that applies to. I encourage you, go back, watch the series. Also, is anything going to happen here? I thought the highlight was going to end, but Rojas, well, I thought he had other ideas. That is not the best of ideas he's had there. That is an awful shot. Lee Min, throw in on the far side. 10 minutes left of the half. 1-1. You know, the longer it remains close, the more nervy I'm going to get. Although Sam Fay, he had another chance there. This time, the woodworkers denied him. The keeper was sent the wrong way. He gave the keeper the eyes. And then Bolton commits a cynical foul. I hope he won't get booked for that. He won't get booked for it, but yeah, I hope we're not going to live to regret some of these misses. Is it naive of me that based on how well we did in previous Europa League stages, I kind of thought we'd roll up here and just absolutely destroy them? That's just not what's happened in this game. We have been particularly poor. Going to get shouty with the players. Not going to make any subs just yet. But I need to see an improvement. If they get a goal early on in this half, I will shake things up fairly radically, I think. We have all these big game players according to their pros and cons. I need to see them showing their big gameness here as Jing Feng, their key man, brings it forward. Moreno, edge of the box to Tillman. He has one goal already. He's hit the woodwork there. It's still played in and Lino scores. Is it off? I'm waiting for a flag to be raised and it's not being raised. It's Freiburg 2, Rugby 1. If we want to win this cup final, we have to come back from behind. We rode our luck with this initial effort there, hit the post. I thought for a moment we'd get away from danger. The storm was weathered. The ball there was played backwards by Moreno. It was never offside. I was saying it more out of hope than expectation. but we find ourselves in a compromised position, and I think now is the time to make changes. Pelagata has not been good in this game today. I am going to bring in Kurland in the final third. Sam Fay has been uncharacteristically disappointing. I hate to do this. I'm saving him for the Premier League where he's going for the Golden Boot. Areko's going to come on in the striking area. Lee Min's not been good at left back. NDIA on Newcombe and Bolton. I'm going to take you off as well. I'm taking off some big players here, but I feel like the sub options we've got are players who have the capabilities to perform on this kind of stage. I'm showing some faith in the likes of NDIA and Mosquera. Now they need to repay that faith. NDIA tries to cross it and it's blocked and it goes in. He's been on the pitch for a matter of seconds. Does he get the assist for that? I don't even know. This is one of those goals that I kind of feel guilty celebrating. Misiak to Fawns to NDIA. NDIA here has no eyes for goal. He's trying to pull it back and it just hits a defender and goes in. You know what? When you looks in, I'm not going to complain. Okay, now we're played here. I've made 4 subs, so I can't really change anything too radically. Or maybe, oh my word, maybe I don't need to make those changes. We look threatening going forward right now. The XG for either team is very, very close, but we have created more and we've created something there. It's Gonzalo Rodriguez with a huge header. Areko on off the bench for the assist from the corner. I'm not going to say it too loudly, but 19 crossing. 19 crossing right there. The 2 Argentine players in our team linking up. That header, you couldn't have picked a better spot to put it in the back of the net. We are 3-2 up. For the second time in this game, we're in the lead. But with 25 minutes left, there is plenty of time for things to change. And Freiburg maybe going to look to bring about that change immediately. They have the ball here. They're knocking it around. Moreno cutting inside. I think he's offside. I saw the linesman in the bottom corner with his flag raised, but for a moment my heart sank. Fair play to Freiburg, by the way. They have surprised me with how they've approached this game. They have now just changed their tactical shape to be a bit more solid. Really, they need to be committing more men up the pitch. There's 10 minutes left. We're holding on a little bit, and it's Schmidt with the long throws. I mentioned the long throws earlier, didn't I? We've dealt with this one. Who was that? Misiak with a diving header. That was John Terry-esque to get that away from danger. We loved that. That said, they have still got possession, going all the way back to the keeper. Is it worth pressing him? I don't know if it is, lads. Save your legs. 7 minutes left. Freiburg with Tillman in the wide area. He already has a goal. Can he now turn provider? Back to Schmidt, the left back, on the overlap. Mosquera can't stop the ball coming in, and Lino, who already had one, just smashed that one over the bar. That is a let-off. There's 5 minutes of added time here. I've not touched anything tactically. I feel like we're doing fine. I'm just staring in the top corner. I think we're going to hold on here. And I'll tell you what, it was not as simple as I wanted it to be, but we can at least now savour the custom European animations. The Europa League will be won by Rugby Town. And going into this competition, I think we probably were one of the favourites. This final was far closer than it needed to be. We will now savour the moment as the players lift the trophy. The confetti of Rugby Town colours falls from above. And my oh my, that final, I was hoping that was going to be the least stressful final possible ahead of the final game of the year. I feel like my blood pressure's gone up a little bit. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Enjoy the success. The players are happy. Misiak, by the way, 8.1 rating for him. He was one of the little difference makers. When you look at the subs we brought on, Mosquera, NDIA, Areko, they all got really good ratings. I feel like it was a pretty brave decision to make the subs when we did, but actually it was what won us the game ultimately. A 3-2 win. I think we did deserve it on the balance of play. Like I said, great to see Misiak getting man of the match in this game here. The 19-year-old just doing it on the big stage. Apparently I'm a legend. Cheers O'Neill. Love O'Neill. The board are delighted. I mean, imagine if you won it and then the board weren't happy. That would be bloody annoying, wouldn't it? So we got £7 million for winning the final, but we also get over £4 million and £1 million just from some extra bonus bits. And on top of that, we qualify for the Europa League. The budgets have been set. How much money do I want for the coming year? I mean, we had like £100 million sitting around after the sale of Ospina. The board are going to give me a wage budget of £1.1 million and a transfer budget of £118 million. That's quite a lot of money. And I mean, now that we've qualified for the Champions League, I'd like to think we are waving goodbye to the Europa League forever. This is what I want to win before this save game ends. I know it's going to be a bloody big challenge. Another thing, of course, that we really want to win is the thing that's coming up next in 4 days' time. It is the Premier League final day. We just have to win by more goals than Liverpool win by. It's as simple as that. I say it's as simple. It's never going to be that simple, is it? There are 4 teams separated by 1 point. Oh my, imagine if this was real life. Imagine what would be happening I'm so stressed. I need to relax, don't I? I'm going to go away, take 5. Don't go anywhere. Game number 2 today coming up, and after that, season review. I feel like my mood on that season review is going to depend entirely upon the next 10 minutes. Okay, I'm kind of excited for this. I'm kind of terrified for it. I feel like if we win the Premier League this year, it's going to feel a bit weird. To do it in our second season in the league would be immense. I feel like that's a testament to the team that we have. But on the flip side, to win with 78 points, it doesn't feel like a real achievement in like a weird way. You want to win the league really emphatically, don't you? I mean, to be fair, just winning the league's kind of nice. Look, we are taking on West Brom. Liverpool are taking on Leeds. That is the only game that really matters in the grand scheme of things because of goal difference. If we win, Liverpool have to win. If we win, even if Arsenal or Man City win, they're very unlikely to go above us unless Arsenal beat Wolves like 11-0, which I don't think's going to happen. I think another thing that's adding to the weird feeling of today is the fact that we have not been top of the Premier League until the 37th game week concluded. It's the first time we've been top of the league. Here is the fight as it's emerged. Liverpool and Arsenal kind of dicing it out at the top, but Arsenal for such a long period were miles ahead. There was this mad scrap over the last kind of 8 game weeks, and suddenly we're in a situation where no one's where they were before. Now, in terms of team news for today's game, there are a couple of players that, despite me resting, are struggling a little bit. I'm looking at Misiak thinking, do I risk it? I'm looking at Rojas thinking, do I risk it? I'm looking at Haddad in goal who picked up an injury in training thinking, do I risk it? I mean, it wasn't a serious injury, to be clear, a tight hamstring. I feel like we take a chance on him, knowing we've got Schumacher on the bench. Also, just realised here, we don't get 12 subs, do we, like the cup final? So we'll remove the players at the bottom. Do I want to change things up anywhere here? I am nervous about the condition thing, but it is just the last game of the year. So I feel like if there's a time to run some players into the ground, maybe this is the game to do it. And especially when you look at recent form of our players, yeah, I just don't want to touch it. I'm going to go with this team. It's inherently a gamble, but we've won one competition today. Let's try and win another. This is one of those game weeks where I want to sit here and pretend I won't be constantly checking the Liverpool game. You know it, I know it. We are going to be constantly checking that game. Our opposition today in West Brom should be a rather beatable team. We were struggling with form towards the end of the year, but we have managed to string together 3 wins in a row to put ourselves in this position. West Brom were battling for survival for a lot of this year. They've now guaranteed their survival. They've got nothing to play for. Sadly for us, Leeds United, who are even on points with West Brom, are the team taking on Liverpool, who also have nothing to play for. Okay. What do you say? What am I meant to do here? I'm just kind of sat waiting for things to play out. Of course, we can only do the task in front of us and win by as many as we can. I think we have to go into this game assuming that Arsenal or Liverpool will win their final game of the year, and therefore we need to win this one. I'm sure Man City fans are hoping that everyone above them slips up. That does feel rather unlikely at this point. But anyway, we've got the ball here. Fawn's in the wide area. Drifting wide, I should say. He's got Lee Min up ahead. Lee Min, not got a goal this year. Has got assists. And Sam Fay, he was offside. It wouldn't have counted. It's half a chance. Another chance for us here. Lee Min with the throw in. Knocking it around in the corner just a little bit. Fawn's edge of the box. Lee Min can't get there. Of course, West Brom may be looking to catch us out on the counter-attack, but they've got one man left forward in Slynn, who's just legging it towards our goal for no reason. Lee Min's in behind. Fay's there again. On this occasion, he's onside. It would have counted. He's kicked it straight at the keeper. And Liverpool have taken the lead in their game. Liverpool are top of the Premier League on the final day. Bolton, do you really want to lose against your former club like this? No, you don't. Come on, step it up, lad. Pelagata. This is a pointless highlight, isn't it? Or is it? It is. Liverpool are 13 minutes into their game and they're 3-1 up. So as things stand, we have to win by 2. We have to win 2-0. Oh, God, the pressure is ramping. A win would not be enough as things stand. Sam Fay does a lap of the world and forces another save out the keeper. I feel like Sam Fay is grabbing this game by the scruff of the neck. He's trying to make something happen. It's Misiak. Can you make something happen? He's whipping it towards the back post. Sneddon is there. It's a free header and he heads it over. Liverpool are 4-1 up in there. Liverpool are 4-1 up. You know, I don't want to look at what they're doing. It's 20 minutes into the game, Liverpool. Have you no chill? Oh, of course, just as a reminder, we have to win by the same goal margin they win by in this game. We're ahead of them at the moment on goals for. So if they win 3-0 and we win 2-0, they'd still go above us. Fay, Rojas scores. Is it going to... It's offside. It's offside. I knew it as well. I feel like at this point, checking the Liverpool score is just not doing my mental health any good. I'm just going to pretend Liverpool don't exist. West Brom have not had a shot in this game so far. We've not yet been able to find a breakthrough. I'm not loving what I'm seeing. I'm not loving it. 10 minutes left of the half. We have dominated the game. We've created a lot. An XG of almost 2. And yet we've not scored yet. There's 2 minutes left of the half. Do I check the Liverpool score? I'll check it at half-time. It's half-time here. It's 0-0, lads. I don't want to say we're bottling it, but if we don't win this game, I would consider it a bottle. You know, if we win this game, but that's not enough, I kind of shrug my shoulders and go, well, we tried. Que sera. I am just wondering what is happening in the other games here. So Liverpool are winning. Man City are winning. Liverpool are 5-1 up. 5-1. Man City winning 1-0. Arsenal losing 2-0 on the final day. As things stand, we need 4 goals in the second half. I think I'm going to make some subs. Bolton's got a little bit of an injury, so I'm just going to play it safe, I think, and bring in Mosquera. Elsewhere, I'm looking at Lee Min thinking, you're having a good game, but you look a bit tired. But then again, half our team looks tired, don't they? You know what? João Victor on. I'm actually going to change the defensive midfielder to support and just encourage them to get up that little bit more. Because João Victor signed when we were in League One. I'm bringing him on in this kind of game here, hoping he can make a difference. Misiak's not played well. Faye has vanished again in this game, which is so disappointing. I'm going to bring in Kurland for Misiak, I think, here. Do I keep Sam Faye on? I know he's played poorly today, but I just feel like this is the kind of game where maybe he turns things around. I'm going to have an individual team talk with him. Sam Faye, you are the protagonist of this story. I'm going to put my hands together. You weren't bad, but you can improve. I've got faith in you, Sam. You know, if this is a Disney movie, he now scores a hat-trick. I hope it's a Disney movie. The circumstances around this end of season I knew were going to be mad, and I knew that we just had to score more than Liverpool. I didn't mean Liverpool were going to go this many goals up. They're 5-1 up. 5! And we're not just doing anything in this game. We're creating a load, but just not actually scoring. I mean, we're 10 minutes into the half. The longer we go without scoring, the more nervous I'm going to get. Mosquera, you're on off the bench, son. Make something magical happen. Riviere, Kurland, João Victor, Lee Min. He's not scored all season, and he's still not scored. Muric saves it. In fact, he didn't save it. He just hit the side netting and went out. I thought the keeper got a hand to it. It's been denied. There's another highlight immediately, though. Let's not take our seats yet. It's not over. Mosquera to the byline. Options in the middle. Pelagata. It falls to Sam Faye. We're a goal up. We need more, lads. Get the ball out of the net. Let's run to the halfway line. It's another goal to add to his collection in the pursuit of the Golden Boot Award, I realise. He had an awful first half. I want to claim that my team talk was magical. Let's be honest. This chance here, if he'd missed that, I don't know what, I would have sworn a lot. And I don't like to swear. You know, part to Prem, it's a family show, isn't it? Right, around the grounds, I was going to check what Liverpool are doing. We've got another chance. Pelagata, back post keeper, collects it. Oh, I'm not enjoying this. Can you tell? I feel like the nerves are getting to me. It's a nervous commentary. To the point where I can't even really get words out. Rodriguez has taken down the ball well there. Lee Min, if we get another now, we've got half an hour to get a few more. Pelagata, options left, options right. Lee Min on the left is the one he's gone for. Lee Min to João Victor, Riviere. Kurland curls it in, and I'm in dreamland. Maybe. It's 2-0. Their sub has made an impact immediately. I feel like Sebastian Kurland's one of those players that I don't big up nearly enough. He's come on off the bench a few times, I feel like, in live commentaries and not done anything. In games he starts, he plays amazingly. He does stuff like that. Liverpool are still 5-1 up. As things stand, they are ahead of us by 2 goals on goal difference. We need to score 2 more. And also, obviously, not concede. West Brom, though, have not done anything going forward in this game, so I feel like that shouldn't be a risk. Then again, we are playing Football Manager, so it definitely is a risk. Garcia Leon, going all the way back. Can we press it? Can we force an error? Gasperi, our former man, I didn't even realise Gasperi was on the pitch. And Master, wait, it's like Gasperi and Masters, 2 of our former players. Lads, for all we've done for you, why are you not throwing this game? Gasperi, don't do it to me. Stop it. Stop it. He's giving it to Lord. Why are they on the attack? It's in. Slyn scores. If that is Gasperi and Masters, I'm going to be so upset. I think it is both of them as well. I'm so sad. I talked about the fairy tale of our Championship and League One players playing in the starting 11 of our team. We're coming up against a handful of them as well, it turns out, and they're just stabbing me in the back and twisting the dagger in deep. It hurts. Just to verify, by the way, that is the Stuart Masters at centre mid for West Brom. I assume it's the Gasperi as well. It is. Two of our former players are just They're ruining everything. Okay, there's 25 minutes left. Liverpool are still only 5-1 up. We need 3 goals. 3 goals, 23 minutes to make it happen. The issue I've had throughout this year is our current system is so attacking. It's kind of almost difficult to make it more attacking, and yet I feel like if there's a game to try and do something different, this is probably the one to do it in. I have still got 2 subs. Rojas is dead on his feet, so I think I'm going to sub him off here. Although, as I say that, he is bringing the ball forward. Mosquera at right back. Bit of space to run into for the right back. Goes on his lonesome and hits the woodwork. I think the keeper may have even saved it. Sanfei keeps it alive, but he was offside. We need goals. We need something. Areco on you come for Rojas, who's tired. Pelagata is struggling as well in this game. I'm going to bring in Anderson for Pelagata. We've got the 2 Danish attacking midfielders now on the pitch in Anderson and Kurland. I need you to unleash some Danish magic. Please. I don't know what Danish magic is, but whatever it is, we need it. You know, the Turkish have Turkish delight. The Danes have Danish magic. Everyone knows that. At this point as well, I think we just move Riviere and João Victor up the pitch a little bit and just try and get them into slightly more advanced areas. In possession, let's play a bit more direct. Less running at defences. Come on, lads. 22 minutes. We need goals. I want to point out as well, we have an XG of 4.33. We could have scored a lot more than we have in this game. Liverpool are 6-1 up. We need 4 goals in 15 minutes. It's just not going to happen, is it? It's just not. It wasn't meant to be. The fact that Liverpool have won 6-1, by the way, or are winning 6-1, means that we had to win 5-0 in this game to stand a chance of winning the league. That is the absurdity of what they've achieved on the final day to rip away the dreams from us. We will do what we can to make it a fight to the death, but with 13 minutes left, there is a mountain to climb. Mosquera, can you get us off base camp? Areco's under it. Faye's there too. He shoots. He scores. It's going to count. It's 3-1, but we need more, lads. We need more. Mosquera put the ball in initially. I think it was Areco who challenged for it in the air. The ball ballooned and looped up and in the end fell very kindly for Faye to tuck it away. 3-1, we need more goals. I feel like at this point, there's no point in looking at the Liverpool result. We need 3 more goals. They're just not coming, are they? They're just not coming. Lehman can't even play as a wing-back as far as I'm aware. Lehman, can he play as a wing-back? Absolutely not. Mosquera, you can play as a right attacking mid. He can. He can play as a right attacking mid. I think we know what we're doing here. Mosquera, winger. If you are wondering at this point, Jack, are you getting too desperate? I think there's definitely an element of that. But we've just got to try and make something happen in what's left of this game, haven't we? In transition, don't roll it out anymore. Just lump it long over the defence. We need 3 goals in 8 minutes. Okay, there's 5 minutes left. This is such a long shot, isn't it? I feel like at this point we're just rolling all the dice and hoping that we get what we need. Rodriguez. Can we roll a double to get out of jail? I say get out of jail. This is like rolling a double, but like a triple or a quad. I feel like if I rolled 5 dice, them all having the same number, is probably more statistically probable than us finishing top of the Premier League right now. João Victor's won it back. Riviere, Rodriguez. I assume at this point our players know that we need to score more, and I'll just commit men forward. They don't think I've just lost my mind on the sideline, sending them forward. Muric with the ball for them. It's going to kick it long. Of course, in throwing men forward, we are now just leaving ourselves stupidly open. But there's literally no harm in what we're doing now. We might as well just go for it. Very rare that you get an absolute free hit of a game. Areco, Faye is there. Faye is onside, I think. Can he pull it across? Kurland scores. VAR's checking it. Don't hurt me, VAR. Please don't hurt me, VAR. It's going to count. Okay, it's 4-1. If Leeds get 1 goal back and we score 1, we'd be top. That's how I'm trying to rationalise my current excitement. 1 more goal. What? No, we need 2. We need 2. Let's be realistic. It is still 6-1 in the other game. How much added time is there going to be here? 7 minutes! 7. Right, I'm pausing it again. I don't know if there's such thing as pausing the game too much, but I feel like in this current situation, there definitely isn't. Lads, just everyone go forward. Riviere, you are now an advanced playmaker. What am I doing? I'm just losing my mind, but I feel like we have to do something here, don't we? We're going to hit early crosses. We're already playing direct. Out of possession, get stuck in, step up more. I mean, I'm just ticking everything. We've had 33 shots, by the way, an XG of 6.61. There's 3 minutes left for us to try and make something happen. The fact that Gasperi and Stuart Masters haven't thrown this game, by the way, is frankly a disgrace. They're both still on the pitch. Lads, what are you doing? You're legends of this football club, and you're well, just sentencing us to second place, or are they? João Victor, Kurland. There's players left and right. Kurland, Mosquera. There's so many players in the middle. Areco's one of them. How's he missed? It was offside. It wouldn't have counted anyway. There's 2 minutes left. Why is there another highlight? Football Manager just wants to give me that little bit of hope, doesn't it? Lee Min can't take it down. We've got so many men committed forward here that one big ball over the top probably just unlocks our entire defence, and yet it's just entirely necessary. Scott plays it. West Brom players left, right and centre. It's whipped to the back post. Mosquera's not playing right back. We don't have a right back on the pitch. They're abusing that fact on the far side. Anderson puts in a tackle, but it's into the box. Stuart Masters, what are you doing? It's a great save by Haddad. Oh, I can't believe it. What a way to bottle the title. Is it really bottling it if we've won 4-1 here and Liverpool have won 6-1 down the road? I feel like in some ways you've just got unlucky. Like we've done what we could. 7 minutes of added time is going to come and go. I assume that Liverpool didn't concede 2 goals in the last minute of the game. We got to win. Look, we did what we could, but it wasn't enough, was it? Liverpool finished top of the table. They scored a 7th goal, so even if we had scored 2, it wouldn't have mattered. We end the Premier League season finishing in 2nd place. Man City won on the final day 2-0. Arsenal lost 4-1, by the way, to finish 4th. I feel like this was a rare chance to win the title with 78 points without being perfect. And in some ways, we've just let that chance slide away. Liverpool are crowned champions. They won 7-1 on the final day. I'm so upset. I mean, Sam Fay got man of the match, so that's good. I mean, that adds to his collection. Maybe he can win Player of the Year or something. Bolton pulled his hamstring. He'll be fine. Sam Fay finished 1 goal off the Golden Boot as well. He got the highest average rating, and he actually got the 2nd most assists. Sam Fay, what a player this year. I feel like we've not bigged up how incredible he's been. Oh, Player of the Week news. Reblend's good. 4 goals he got for Liverpool. He's the reason they won the league. I'm taking this well. Okay, look, 10 things today. We are going to do an end of season review. I'm going to get forward to when the whole review presentation thing comes up. I'm probably not going to talk that much because I'm very bitter and upset. Of course, transfer special will be coming your way tomorrow. But before all of that, we will just talk through things. I mean, still, what a season. What an amazing season. And yet I just feel bitter at the end of it. I need to grow up. I'm trying to find some silver linings to this whole year. Fay won the Football Writers Association Player of the Year, so that's good. He also won the PFA Player of the Year. So even if we didn't win the league, Sam Fay is getting all the plaudits, which is nice. Haaland did get the Golden Boot, though. I got Manager of the Year, though. They can't take that away from me. And interesting to know, here is the Premier League Team of the Year. I am kind of surprised by how many Liverpool players there are. I'm also surprised, but pleasantly so, that Sneddon made the PFA Team of the Year. He had such a good year this year. I know there were a few people who had question marks over him after his first season at the club. He was really, really good this year at the back. I think when we bought him for £28 million, it felt like a gamble. I'm going to say now, that gamble has paid off. I'll be honest, when I put Sneddon's Team of the Year bonus in his contract of 700k, didn't think he'd actually trigger it, but fair play to him. And with that all said and done, we are at the end of season review. It fills me with sadness to just see the one trophy here, although the Europa League, you know what? It's not that bad of a trophy to win now. Full focus on the Champions League and Premier League, I guess. Signing of the year this year went to Areco. I think that is a fair assessment. We signed this guy for £7 million. He's improved a lot. Of course, we brought him in thinking he'll play out on the wing. We're going to play a wide system. Then we abandoned that rather quickly. In his games as a striker, though, he has been top quality. You kind of look at his valuation, the fact he's 21. Is he going to be playing for the Argentina national team over the summer? Maybe. Yeah, I can't argue with him as signing of the year. Another man who did really well this year was Gonzalo Rodriguez in at centre-back. Did not miss many games for us. 45 appearances for him. And Mark Anderson as well played well. I know there's going to be a lot made of Haddad in goal. I feel like we were better defensively this year. I feel like it's almost difficult to quantify how much of that was down to Haddad. When you look at his ratings, they weren't the best. But then again, when you actually look at the Premier League stats, he was right up there to the end when it came to clean sheets. He had the 3rd most in the league at 13. So even if he's awful, which I really don't think he is, defensively we were much, much better this year. This season we conceded 43 goals. Last year we conceded 60. The board are giving me an A+ for the Premier League, and I'm very grateful for that, but I can't help but think back to that Man City game and the Fulham game at the start of the year. Those 2 games where we dropped points early on as just kind of what-if moments. Imagine if we just played the 4-2-2-2 all year. We'd be champions probably right now. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that till now. That makes it even worse. Why did I change the tactic to start the year? From a financial point of view, lots of stuff on the up here. Kind of surprised that our national reputation hasn't increased more. In fact, it says current national reputation, but then I mouse over it and it says continental. So maybe it's going to go up a little bit more. I still feel like 3.5 stars of rep, considering the season we've just had is a robbery. Here is the team of the year, by the way. Ospina is in it. If you're wondering, how's he done since we sold him for £60 million? He's played 7 games for Rangers, 3 as a starter, and only scored 3 goals. I'm beginning to think they realise they've been scammed. Here, by the way, is a look at the overall Rugby Town Best 11. If you're wondering where some of these players are now, we know where Gasperi is. Little snake in the grass. Elsewhere, Ricky D, currently playing for Derby County in League One. I say he's playing for Derby County in League One. He's not played a game for them all year. Jake Cartwright is playing for Colney Heath. Of course, he played in the Premier League last year. Now he's playing in the Southern League Division 1 Central. 6.45 rating for the year. He had a good season. Kind of. People wondering about Sam Kelly. He is a free agent. He was playing with Gloucester City in the National North. Didn't play a game for them this year, and then they released him. That's just sad. Rio McAvoy is still doing his thing over in the Republic of Ireland. He's been having a good old time over there for a number of years. I say a good old time. His goals have started to slow down quite a lot. The ratings for him aren't that good either, are they? He really did peak with us with 40 goals in a year. Soonsup Bell has been a regular player for Torquay in League 2. 11 goals to his name. Maybe he's found his level. He left Oxford, having joined them for £4 million on a free at the start of the year. Our former star boy, Isaac Pritchard, is still playing for Middlesbrough, although his contract is about to run out at the end of the year. This year, lots of appearances as a sub, but has been playing Championship football, which when you consider he generated for us in the Southern League Premier Central, that's pretty impressive. I say he generated for us, I just remembered, we stole him from Ross County. He's still one of our own, you can't convince me otherwise. Miles Maycock is playing for Faversham Town in the National League South. 7 assists, 2 goals this year for him. And last but not least of these players, we have Callum Goldsmith, who's playing for Karlsruhe in the second Bundesliga. He got 3 goals in 24 games. We sold him for £4 million as a reminder to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Can't imagine they're thrilled about how he's turned out. In terms of players doing well this year, unsurprisingly, Sam Fay pretty much won every single award he could possibly win. Highest transfer fee paid, record broken by Haddad. The record sale also smashed, of course, with the £60 million sale of Ospina. Our season ticket waiting list was 2,000 supporters, I think, at the start of the year. There's 5,000 new bandwagon fans on that waiting list. The sooner we move into the new stadium, the better. Sadly, we're not due to move into that new stadium for another year. Yeah, I think we're still at Butlin Road for one more year. Okay, board expectation for the coming year. They want a top half Premier League finish and then qualification for the Europa League the year after that. And they just want us to be competitive in the Champions League. You know what? I could push my luck here. I'm just going to accept those. I think we can manage that. Half the players have already gone on international duty. I believe it's a World Cup year this year, so they've all kind of pissed off to go do their thing. I'm just going to tell the players about the Premier League. We're going to finish in the top half. I realise I could probably kind of push a little bit more than that, but the players will probably just cry. I hate the fact with these team meetings, you just kind of go with whatever the board suggested, and the players will react well to that. And with that right there, we have finished the season. What a season it's been. A great season, let's be honest. Disappointing not to win the league. The fact that we won 4-1 on the final day and still dropped down a place is mental. I've never had that kind of situation before in Football Manager, but hey-ho, sometimes that's what happens in the game of Football Manager. In terms of the plan for the coming year and in terms of the transfer window, I'm pretty happy with the defence in its current form. I feel like we've got a young defence that's only going to get better. I do feel like the 2 defensive midfielders could be the area to really try and address. Riviere and Thorns are good, but I do feel like if we want to win a Champions League, we need to get in some elite level kind of players in that area of the pitch. I suppose the star ratings also reflect that. Unlike someone like Pietro Pellegato, who has some potential, Akera and Riviere, they're kind of already at their final form. You know, they're 2 players in their mid-20s now. Can't expect them to get much better. And I do feel like just winning that midfield battle a little bit more will help us against the truly elite teams. When it comes to the attacking options, I don't really want to change anything this year. I don't necessarily think there's a need to do so. We're in a good little position where we've got a well-balanced squad. I suppose if the opportunity comes to sell a more fringe player like we did with Ospina in January, we have to weigh it up. But I would imagine heading into next summer, or the coming summer, I should say, really, that transfer budget of £120 million is really going to be, well, attempted to be used at the very least on bringing in some truly elite defensive midfielders. I'm hoping with our reputation rising, we have a bit more pulling power. The extent of which that allows me to improve the team, we'll find out tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching this end of season episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. As much as things didn't go our way, it was still pretty bloody good fun. Shame that we couldn't win the Premier League, although in one way, I'm kind of relieved we've not done it in our second season. We still have some more things to aim for. The squad certainly isn't in its final form. There's improvements to be made. We'll try and make them tomorrow. I will see you guys for that transfer special. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a supportive comment on the fact that I've just lost the league like I have. And I'll see you guys next time for more. I'm out.